Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Eminence and Shadow Season 2 episode number 3 reaction. Okay, the previous episode, a few things happened. First of all, we get to know who Mary actually is. Mary is supposed to actually was a vampire who was Elizabeth's maid. And we get to know a little bit more about Elizabeth, how she wanted to be with the human beings, but because of Crimson, who made her drink blood, she went completely crazy and killed a lot of human beings and a lot of other people. That's why she decided to take her own life and decided to self-seal herself. But Crimson had different plans, so that is why now Crimson, after I think like 100 or something years, 1,000 years or something like that, during the Red Moon, now he's trying to bring her back again. And all these things we got to know. Claire gets to know all of that, while Shadow kind of defeats Juggernaut. Not defeat, but kind of yeah, you can say like defeats him without even realizing it, I guess, by the end of it. And then when Crimson was going to bring Elizabeth back, he just wiped him out completely immediately. And that was crazy. Obviously I was like, oh, we're going to have like a battle between him and Crimson, but he comes down, immediately uses atomic, and it's all over. So that was something, typical Sid. I'm guessing this is something that we should have expected from him. So let's see what happens in this episode. This is episode number 3. Let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here. Sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's get started. Okay, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. See this. Oh my god. Well, focus on group battles. Well, wow. Oh, oh, there you go, Sid. I feel like you might actually get your boss battle. Oh boy. But I guess for him, that also probably won't be enough for a boss battle. He's so strong. Hmm. The Hour of Awakening. Oh wow, here we go. Good god. Oh god. Whoa. What the hell? Wait, what? Wait, what the hell happened here? What is. Oh, that thing that we saw. What the. Oh, it's. Okay. Oh, yeah, I should have seen this coming. So. Whoa. Wait. Whoa, what the hell? Wait. Oh god, the Shadow Garden is here. Okay. Whoa! Wait, did they? Did, yeah, they decapitated her, and now. Yeah, well, he just left. So. Oh, there you go. There's Rose over there. Damn! She isn't even, I think, like woken up. And she's just doing all of this. So. Wait, what? Oh! Greater than her? Wait, really? Oh, Juggernaut is here. Everyone is here except Sid. Damn. Yo, just like that. And he hasn't even he hasn't even woken up. Oh, now she's woken up. Probably. Yeah. Damn. Oh my god. Oh. Yo. Damn. Yeah. Yeah. Oh, she's. What the hell? She's feeding, I think. Yeah, it's not that she's healing herself, she's feeding. Hmm. Oh! Whoa! Wait, that's the. Oh, you see, they kind of mentioned the. If you remember, they said something about. Yeah, the possession and the vampires being connected. And yeah, obviously, Claire is also. What? Wait, that's Gamma, isn't it? Share the pictures. Adapting and unfortunately lost control. Wait, that's not. No. Good God. What's going on here? Where is this place? Do not adapt to the environment. Uh, Oh, oh, what? Split into two. Oh, because no, but I'm so confused. I need to come back here and read this part again. What the hell is she even saying? Yeah, I was thinking. I made a mistake when I said gamma. Like, yeah, it wouldn't make sense if this was gamma. Like, since both of them have like a very similar, like, hairstyle and like hair color. I made a mistake. I thought that was gamma for a moment. But yeah, whoa. Oh wait, that's Aurora. I need to read this part in the discussion section again. I understood almost nothing. Why is what's going on here? Like I can understand since like she's okay. I'll talk about it later. Like obviously since Aurora is related to Diablos, I can understand how she can take this form. But okay. Hmm. Wait. Wait, is she actually using Oh my god! Oh no! Oh my god. Interrupted. Oh, that's why. Wait, he's here. Is Shadow here? Yep, there he is. Oh, he's like, yeah, finally, the final boss is here. I can fight now. Oh, he got his money. Yeah, money. I got all my money. And here we go. We have our final boss here as well. Oh, slime versus blood. Damn. Yeah. Damn. Oh, is it because he's protecting everyone? I think so. Or maybe not. No, I feel like. Wait, is this her delusion? Okay, no, that is actually gold. Oh, he's talking about the gold, not them. Oh my god. I just realized. He's talking about the gold, the money. Yeah, Beta, you and your delusions. Oh my god. He's like, what will you do this? I finally got the money and now it's all gone because of you. Damn. Wow, this is. This. Oh boy. He's like, I was waiting for this. Wait, he's only using atomic. Wait, what? Wait, is this something new? What the hell? Oh, he's Quinton. So he reversed everything, or so all the possessions are gone again, I'm guessing. Oh no, wait. Hmm. He's like, well, yeah, you think so? After all that? These two. Yeah. Yeah. Just retire, you two. Just I don't know, whatever the hell do. No, it's Mary and I see. Hmm. Oh, Claire. If you hear this in a different, like, okay, oh my god, is, come on, Shadow, please. Oh god, here we go. I knew this was going to happen. I was going to say, if some unsuspecting person hears about this, they'll think she's on full on tuning. Oh god. Sid is like, it's fine, sister, I know. I went through that phase. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Yeah. Oh boy. He's like, yes, I'll support you, don't worry. However bad you have it, don't worry. Oh god. Yo, that's how he mentioned. Ah, all right. Come on, Sid. Like, really? He's actually talking about like. Oh my god. Oh my god. I wonder what Elizabeth's going to do from here on. This event is over. Ah, that's a shame. 500 is still better than nothing. Yeah. Hmm. True. You can. Yeah, because he can just stand there and everyone will try to get the money from him, pickpocket him, and he'll pickpocket him them back. Just standing there, he earns money. Uh, right. Okay. You know what? I need to go back to that part and read that section again. I think I have a basic understanding about the whole possession thing, and it does make sense why Aurora was the one who suddenly popped up. Because if you think about it like that, like Aurora being Diablos, like it kind of makes sense that anyone who's possessed, they would probably have like an essence of Aurora within them, because that's literally what it is. Possession is basically like, like the cells of the Diablos or something like that, and Aurora is also something like that. So it makes sense why she suddenly popped up. So it's not only for Claire, for every single person who has been um, cured from possession by Sid, everyone will have a little bit of Aurora in them, I think, or something like that, I think. And remember there's one section where she kind of says something like, she says something to Beta, something along the lines of, oh, even you can use this power. And Beta was like, wait, what? Yeah, because Beta and everyone from the Shadow Garden was possessed once. So technically they should also be sharing the same power that Claire was able to use it, or something like that. I don't know. That's it. Oh wait, there's still something left. Huh. Huh. No, that's it. Oh, Shadow. Oh, Yukime. Okay, interesting. Right, okay, so that's fair enough. One thing I need to mention, like, that was a very short arc, wasn't it? Like, 3 episodes only? I don't think I've ever seen such a short arc in any anime. Like, 3 episodes? Or maybe this was like a short, like, like thing or something. I don't know. But that actually felt awfully quick. Like, the whole situation. Like, we barely got to meet Mary and Elizabeth, and it seemed as if, like, everything just wrapped itself up. So, okay. Right. Or maybe this was just like the beginning of something big, which we'll get to see from here onwards. It was just a like the prologue or something that is yet to come. I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, like I was saying, so the whole section with Aurora, I need to read that part again. And so overall, obviously, here we get to see quite a few things. The whole battle between Aurora, Elizabeth, and then like Shadow comes in and Shadow fights for his money, and that part was hilarious. It took me a while to understand, and I was thinking like, like Shadow's like protecting. I was like, okay, is he really protecting them? But then I realized, like when Beta was going overboard, I was like, yeah, there probably is a punchline to this. And that's when I realized, like, the gold were actually coins which were getting broken. And I was like, oh, so that's what's going on here. He's actually trying to protect the money. And yeah, so there you go. That was the whole thing. And yeah, obviously the fight between Elizabeth and Sid used, I think, recovery at atomic, which is something, I don't know, like, yeah, I think like it kind of explains it. I was going to say like how did he do that, but I think he explains it in the end. He says something like at the end of the day, curing power overload is easy. So I'm guessing he kind of like reverted it back, the power overload, and that is why like all the rules and everything, like they reverted back to normal, and everyone became like calm down. And even the cells of like the possessed cells which were like going crazy, they also like like went down. So that was that. And then we have the final section of Sid. I was like, when Claire was unwrapping her bandage and she's like, oh, my left hand is burning, all these marks, like, and these kind of things like she was saying, I was like, out of context, this seems extreme Junie, like, and I was like, I feel like Sid is probably like, yeah, and that's exactly what he was doing. He was actually, he thought that like his sister has also become a complete Junibyo, and he's like, all right, you know what, calming down power load is all very easy, but this is a deep rooted problem. You cannot you cannot cure it that easily. But don't worry, my sister, I've been through that phase, like, and I'm sure you'll also be able to go through that phase properly. And don't worry, I'll help you out. I'll support you whichever path you go. Oh, that's so funny. Okay, all right. So yeah, like that was this whole episode. Now I'm going to go to that session. I'm going to read this part because I feel like I need to understand a few things here. Okay, so the part where Claire goes into like this whole thing, this inner, thing when she wakes up and you see like she's like wearing a gym outfit, a school, like a gym outfit. What do you call it? A school sports outfit. Um, with the name written. She wakes up, and okay, here's the thing. I should have immediately realized that was Aurora because for a moment I thought that was Gamma. And like if you like like I guess there is a bit of a difference between Gamma and Aurora's face, but they do have almost a lot of similarities, don't they? Like especially their hair color, and I think like Gamma also has like a little mole here. I think, wait a minute, let me check. Shadow. Let me just check. Yep, Gamma also has a little mole here. And Aurora. Aurora is in a different side. It's great. Now that I'm looking at it, it's crazy. The only thing that is kind of we can use to differentiate these two is that their hairstyle, the side in which their mole is, and their eyes. Aurora's eyes is a little bit more sharper, while Gamma's eyes are a little bit more rounder. So these are the three things that you can only you can differentiate between these two. And I guess the hair color as well, like I guess Aurora's hair color is a bit more purplish, unlike Gamma, who is not really purplish but a deep blue purple kind of like a shade. So that is why I made that mistake over there. But I should have realized that wasn't Gamma, because how the hell could Gamma come inside of Claire's mental space? It makes no sense. So since it was Aurora, it made more sense, because Aurora is actually Diablos. So her being inside Claire's mental space makes sense, because since Claire was possessed and she had the cells of Diablos within her, it would make sense if Aurora is within her. So yeah, I kind of realized that a bit late, not a bit late, but by the middle of it I realized it. And there was a section while reacting, I was like, wait a minute, is this? And then I stopped, because I didn't want to I didn't want to embarrass myself. I was like, wait, am I wrong or something? Maybe this is Gamma, or or maybe this is Aurora. So I didn't really say anything from there. But then in the end, when she's like, oh, I'm Aurora, I'm like, yeah, okay, so yeah, I was wrong. That is Aurora. Yeah, my second guess was actually correct. And yeah, it's like I said, it makes more sense that being Aurora, because Aurora and Diablos, how the hell can Gamma come here? It makes no sense. And I guess the personality as well. But if you think about it, like Gamma's personality and Aurora's personality, not similar, but I would say they do have the similar vibe to them. Like Gamma's a little bit more ditzy, unlike Aurora. But they're very similar to each other, Aurora and Gamma, their appearance and everything. So that's why I wasn't able to realize who it was. But other than that, I kind of understood barely what she was talking about. So I'm going to read this part again. So she's like, you're awake. Claire looks at her, and Claire's like, who is this? Okay, possession. Those symptoms have been causing you so much anxiety. You were fully cured long ago. After all, he knows everything. And you can see that there's a picture of Sid curing Claire. I'm guessing this is when Sid helped Claire to train. That's when Sid little by little cured her of her possession. So Claire is like, who is he? Someone you know very well. And she's like, I don't know. What are you talking about? To put it simply, you are adapting, and unfortunately you have lost control. Very soon your body will turn into a rotting mess. So I'm going to give you a little bit of help. Okay, I have no idea what's happening. Where am I? Who are you? Alright. Who in the world is he, he person? This is a negative. Okay. Relax. Right. So she explains here. First of all, okay. Have you heard of evolution? There's a theory proposed by one scientist suggesting that people used to be monkeys. But after long ago, those monkeys adapted to their environment and became humans. Okay. Yeah. What does this, okay. But then another scientist came along and said, living creatures do not adapt to their environments. In their harsh natural environment, only the smartest monkeys survived. and eventually became humans. So what? Wait, that makes no sense. Animals like what? Like, yeah, the first one makes sense. Obviously, like animals adapt to their harsh environment, and that is why a lot of creatures adapt. Like that is why like any amphibians or like animals who live in both water and land, they have webbed feet, to help them swim, and different things. Like a lot of creatures adapt in a lot of way, so that like you can see in the colder parts, like animals have thicker skin and thicker fur to help that, like that has creatures over there have adapted to the environment because it's cold there, while in very hot places they have little or almost no fur, and a lot of other things. Plants, plants adapt differently to the environment. Cactuses have like special like adaptation so that they can store water, and like the water does not go away by what's that process called, precipitation, I said, or something like that, like where the water goes out of the leaves. That is why they have very minimum surface area for their leaves, and leaves take the form of thorns. All these things, these are adaptations. So the first one makes sense, that before they were like everyone were like monkeys, and then they adapted and became human beings. That kind of makes sense, I guess. But this other scientists said that living creatures do not adapt to their environment. The, how? What? In their harsh environment, only smartest monkeys survived and eventually became humans. Yeah, that's called adaptation. Or not adaptation, but I guess evolution in a way. Yeah, I guess that's not adaptation but evolution. Oh, I see. Okay, I feel like this part, the way they okay, this part I feel like they weren't properly able to clarify the whole thing. I think what they're trying to say here is that the second scientist said that it's not adaptation, but basically the smartest monkeys survived and they evolved into humans. It's not that they adapted to the environment and that's why they became humans. It's that the ones who died off, they weren't smart enough. The ones who were smart enough, they survived, and that's why they evolved to be humans in the future. Like adaptation has nothing to do with it. I think that's what they're trying to mean here, because like it makes no sense if like here this what he says is that living creatures do not adapt to the environment. This sentence in itself is, I think, wrong. Like this sentence doesn't make sense. Living creatures do not adapt to the environment. No, living creatures do adapt to the environment. But I think in this context, the person that is what they're trying to say here is that the monkeys didn't adapt to the environment, but what happened is that the intelligent monkeys, they were alive by the end of it, and that is why they later on evolved to be humans. That is, they became more intelligent and they were able to evolve into us, like human beings who have better brain power than something like that. I think that's what they're trying to say here. Okay, the ones that happened to already be adapted to the environment survived and changed physically. Yeah, that's what they're saying. So the ones who were able to survive, they changed and they evolved. So that happened first. Like they were adapted. That is why they were able to become humans. Not that the adaptation made them humans. Okay. Right. Anyways, so now Aurora says that we were talking about adaptation. My point is the fact that the blood has divided into two different types is another result of adaptation. Okay, vampires and I think possessed and progenitor vampires. The bloodline split in two and the characteristics of each are clearly different. I see. So obviously if you think about it, then everything starts from Diablos and then it branches into two. The possessed, we have the possessed, and then we have the vampires. So if you think about it, the possessed beings whose shadow have cured is, I guess you could say, a different version of vampires. So obviously the everything started from Diablos, then it branched into two. One part became the possessed, another part became the vampires. And I guess you could say, if you think about it like that, then since we know, like, obviously we all know what vampires are, that's why, like, the fact that they're connected to, like Diablos, it was easy to make that relation. But here the whole possessed thing still doesn't make sense. What are the possessed? Is it like what are they? Like, we know what vampires are, but what are the possessed? We still actually don't have an answer to that. Because all we know is that possessed are basically like these girls who like had this kind of like a thing, like we saw here what happened in this episode. Like the body started like like inflating, like the cells and the possessed sections started like like bloating up, and started causing them pain. So that is the possessed. And we saw what, if you remember how we met Alpha, she was completely possessed at that time. She was like a blob of like like a meat kind of thing. And like Sid changed her, cured her. So yeah, I see. So the possessed, just like how the possessed are like a branch, the vampires are also like a branch to this. But for vampires, they're more of a, I guess you could say, a different kind, in a different type of scenario, because they don't seem like they suffer from anything the possessed suffer from, because anyone who's possessed, they suffer from this whole thing. But the vampires are very like chill about all of this. The only thing that probably the vampires suffer from is that they need to drink blood, and they cannot go and this like underneath the sunlight, and if they don't drink blood, they'll go into a frenzy. So I guess maybe that is the, yeah, I see. Okay. Okay. So then Aurora says, these two types of blood are trying to adapt inside of you. Okay, I need to understand something. Does Claire have vampire blood in her now? When did that happen? When Mary bit her? Or was it when like Elizabeth bit her? Elizabeth bit her throat. You see that part? When did that happen? Like, she's saying like now two types of blood are trying to adapt inside of you. Okay, like I said, this part is kind of unclear. Okay, unfortunately, you have the right constitution, and me, even more unfortunately, you do not know how to control it. That's why the blood has gone berserk and your body is... Okay, so the time is up, and she's like, oh, it's fine, I'm going to help you for the moment. And there, like, you can see like some things, like some marking coming. That will teach you how to control your powers. And she's like, there's no time. And then she's like, I'm Aurora. And right, and then you can see that Aurora has come, like has taken the form of Claire. Okay, and then she explains how this is literally her doing the same thing that Sid did, and that's why she doesn't look like Claire here. She's looking like Aurora, because that's how she prefers it. And she says that the change of color isn't magic, it's a reflection of light. Okay. I feel like this episode was rushed. Can you guys let me know if this episode was rushed? Because there's so many information they like crammed in this small little scene. There's so many questions I still have, but I think I have a basic understanding as to what happened. Here it makes sense why Aurora was able to take, like Claire's position here, because Aurora is, if you think about it like that, Aurora is literally inside of Claire, because Aurora is Diablos and her cells are kind of like inside um, inside Claire. Not only Claire, all the girls who have been possessed, they have a little bit of Aurora in them. So I feel like she can probably manifest in each and every one of them, if need be, or something like that. But yeah, so I like I said, I feel like there's a lot of information that they like crammed in this small little episode, this whole scene. Like another thing, like I said, does Claire have vampire blood in her now? Because Aurora was saying something like both the bloods are trying to, like fighting inside of you. Yeah. Anyways, I feel like I have a basic understanding. There's still a few details that I might not have a clear understanding of, still, but overall, I understood what happened in this episode. So I feel like for now that's enough. Let's wait and keep watching. I'm sure I'm going to get a better understanding as we go deeper into the story. Either way, all right. So that was this episode. Overall, yeah, this was obviously we get to see the whole battle and everything. Interesting episode, but I do feel like they might have rushed this episode. I don't know, because I feel like the amount of information suddenly they provided us in that small little scene. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is how the source material goes. I have no idea. I've not read the manga, so I have no clue if this is how the source material goes. So let me know if this is how it goes, or did they rush this episode? I think they rushed. They rushed it a little bit, I think. But anyways, maybe that's just me. Maybe this is how it goes in the source material, and they haven't rushed it or anything. But let's see. All right, now I'm going to switch into a scene by scene way of discussion. Let's talk about this episode scene by scene. All right. So in the beginning, we get to see that Sid is disappointed. Sid is like, what the hell is this? Was that the last boss? Or maybe this is a part of an event where there's no last boss and we just have to fight the enemies. So you know what? Maybe I'm going to go and try to find some money, some funds. And let's wait and see if the last boss comes up now. And he leaves, and as soon as he leaves, immediately just after that, we see that thing, like that thing that's, I don't know what you call it, the one that Crimson was trying to insert in Elizabeth. That thing starts to kind of like do something on its own, and immediately after that, Claire and Mary comes over here looking for Sid. I love this part where Claire is like, Sid, where are you, Sid? And looks at the decapitated head, and she's like, who the hell is this? This isn't Sid. And she's like, oh my god, not like this again. Where are you, Sid? All the time you just make me all concerned about you, and and she's like just frustrated that Sid is not here. But from here onwards, everything starts going wrong. That thing pierces Claire over here, and yeah, Mary was a bit too late to save her, and we get to see Elizabeth taking her form. Elizabeth has woken, or almost is in the process of waking up again. So she, as we saw, as Crimson said, she needs someone as a sacrifice to revert back to normal again, to revive again. And I'm guessing this is what she tried to do here. She tried to take in Claire as a sacrifice, and that's why she bit Claire's throat. But before she's almost able to completely kill her, Shadow Garden comes in and saves her at that moment. So I guess she wasn't able to kill her completely. If she was just left like that, she probably would have killed Claire. But before anything happens, the Shadow Garden comes in, and yeah, they cut off her hands. And obviously Claire being Shadow's sister, the Shadow Garden knows that she's of utmost priority. They need to save Claire. So they try to heal her, but it's not really working properly. Yeah, but so that is why Beta's like, alright, we have to take care of this situation on our own because Shadow-sama is not here. I'm sure he feels this situation is not worthy of him, of his attention. Well, Sid is probably just looking for money. So anyways, so here the battle begins, and a whole scene we get to see all of them trying to fight against Elizabeth, and ultimately it not working because Elizabeth wasn't even properly awakened here, and she's like still like kicking everyone's like ass completely. And you can see, I think like here there was a section where, who was it that mentioned, I think it was Beta, who mentioned something like she is so strong, Elizabeth, that she even surpasses Alpha's power. So the only one who can do anything in this situation is Shadow-sama. And Yukime and Juggernaut also comes in. Yukime is smart enough to realize that she cannot do anything in this situation. Elizabeth is too strong, so she keeps back. But we all know like what type of person Juggernaut is, a battle crazy person. So he tries to jump in the battle, and like gets immediately beaten down. Then Elizabeth uses like a rain of blood or something, which like completely like injures a lot of them. Beta is hurt, and you can see that Rose's hood is just completely down. You can like literally see her face here. But Beta's face, obviously you still can't see. Beta's hood is still on. I feel like if Beta's hood came down, Rose immediately would have recognized Beta, because Rose knows Beta. She, Alexia, and Beta, who I think like was her alias here. Natsume Sensei, I think, something like that. The author. They know each other. So, like I said, I feel like it's just a matter of time that Rose realizes that Beta is actually that person, her friend. But anyways, either way. So you can see that Beta here is like 665, 666, or no, something like that. Yeah, she's like, take Claire and go away. And Beta's like, no, you still have some, like work to do, don't you? You have something. Yeah, you still have some thing you need to do, don't you? And Rose kind of is surprised her, because obviously, like, how the hell would she know about that? Unless and until it's someone who knows Rose personally. But either way, they decide to, like, she's like, go, do, take Claire and leave. But before they're able to do anything, Elizabeth again, does something, and yeah, the possession, it starts going, going crazy, and everyone, all the girls here who were possessed. Yeah. Oh wait, I just realized. There was like one section later on, like I said, when Aurora said that both the parts of the blood are like fighting against each other, and that's why you're going. It's like the possession is coming up. I think, and I was saying like, oh, did like did Claire consume some of the vampire's blood or something? Is that what's happening? No, I think what they meant here is that Elizabeth has the power to kind of make the possession go worse. Because if you think about it, she's a vampire, and if she's a vampire, like their origin is from Diablos. So maybe that is why she was able to do something not only to the vampires but to the possessed as well, because at the end of the day, all comes from the same origin point, that is Diablos. So maybe that is how Elizabeth was able to make the possession, go worse, and that is why everyone got affected here. I feel like there's a lot of things that weren't properly explained here in this episode, but I think I have an understanding, at least a basic understanding of what happened. And yeah, it makes sense, because Elizabeth, since she's the vampire queen, it wouldn't surprise me if she her making this whole situation, the whole possessions worse, is something that she could easily do, because she's the queen of the vampires, and vampire is another branch to the people, to the girls who have been possessed. So they're literally almost the same thing. It's just that they have branched into different parts. One is like possession, and one is vampire. So yeah, something like that. And that's why everything starts going worse. Claire is the one who's been affected the most, and this is where Claire goes into that inner mental landscape. And here I talked about this section. I read this part in the first part of the video of the discussion, And like I can kind of understand. I made a mistake at the beginning here thinking that that was Gamma, but it makes no sense if that's Gamma. Obviously that's Aurora. I realized that very soon. And like also the fact that here Aurora explains how the whole branching happened. Like how, like it's possessions, the people who have been possessed and vampires, they're literally from the same origin point, but they branch into different paths. And like that is why Aurora is here. It makes sense now. It's inside her mental landscape because Aurora is Diablos, and she's the origin point of everything. So it makes sense why she's in Claire's mental landscape, and how after this whole section, Aurora takes Claire's form. And Aurora comes out for a momentary amount of time. And this makes me think that since all the other girls here are also they had been possessed before, and Sid is the one who cured them, I think Aurora can literally manifest in each of the girls here. All the people who have been possessed, Aurora can literally take their form, and she can pop out anytime. I don't know if that's true or not, but I feel like it wouldn't surprise me if something like that happens, because yeah, she's Diablos. It would make sense if she can come out in Claire. She can come out in any of the girls who have been possessed. Okay, so here Aurora has a little bit of battle, and all right. So this part you can see when they were shooting the blood rain, Elizabeth. Aurora's like stealing control of blood that has left its body isn't hard to do, because again, at the end of the day, she's Diablos and she can literally control Elizabeth's blood. As she says, if it comes out of her body, she can control it because the blood also contains her cell. So she can easily do that. So she literally reverses the whole blood rain towards Elizabeth. And she does that. Yeah. And cuts off Elizabeth's head. And she's like, oh. And she uses more of the blood power. And for a moment, Aurora was going to use Atomic here, and Beta's like, what the hell what are you doing? And then she realized that her body cannot take it because it's Claire's body, and she's like, oh dear, this won't do, unfortunate. And Beta's like, what the hell is wrong with you? Why are you doing this? And she's like, oh, this will heal me in no time. You two can't do it, can't you? Beta's like, what? But yeah, it makes sense because she also has like Diablos in her. Beta, every girl has the cells of Diablos within them, so it makes sense if they can also cure themselves and heal themselves. So I feel like this episode literally showed us what all the girls from the Shadow Garden can do in the future. They still haven't unlocked their full potential. This is literally what this episode showed us. Like the way Aurora showed how she can control her power to the full. Aurora can has fully mastered the powers because she is Diablos herself. So she just gave us a glimpse of her power, and she just said, kind of showed us that this amount of power that she used here, using Claire's body, each and every of the girl in the Shadow Garden can literally become this powerful, in the future, because every one of them were possessed. And every one of them had a little bit of Diablos within them. So everything that Aurora did in Claire's body here, all the girls here can do that. I think this was what they tried to show us in this episode. Like the potential, the untapped potential of all the girls in the Shadow Garden. And not only all the girls in the Shadow Garden, but anyone who was possessed. Anyways, so Aurora's like, yeah, my time is up. He's here. Goodbye. And Shadow comes in. And Shadow's like still saying the same words, like the time of awakening has come, this, that, all that stuff, And okay, so just a sec. Right. Okay. So yeah, he's like repeating those same words and everything, but this time there's a bigger problem. The coins that he has gathered, being hit by the blood, it's breaking, and oh my god, Beta's like, what's happening here? Shadow-sama can easily take care of her in one shot. Why is he not doing it? And then she's like, oh wait, like, is it what I think it is? And Shadow's like, I cannot afford to lose a single one. And Beta's like, oh my god, he's worried about us. He doesn't want to lose any single one of us. He's trying to protect us, and that is why he's not able to defeat her that quickly. And Beta's like, oh Lord Shadow, and while Shadow's like, I cannot afford to lose a single one. Yeah, Shadow's talking about his money, his gold coins, while Beta's thinking he's talking about them. Oh boy, and Beta's like, Lord Shadow, is this how deeply you care for me? Then Beta has nothing more to say. I pray for your victory. You can do it, Lord Shadow. Oh my god, what the hell was this? And Shadow's like, I cannot afford to lose a single more coin. My money is going down. And he just goes off fighting, and starts fighting Elizabeth. Yeah, and this whole battle happens. This is a crazy scene, Like, they're like literally showing us lines of them fighting. They're so fast. Only lines, a red line and a purple line. Like, just, like, oh my god, that was crazy. Like, it's like some Dragon Ball Z battle, You cannot see them, they're so fast. Oh boy. And this part intrigued Yukime, and Yukime set his eyes on Shadow. And yeah, in the end, Shadow's like, tonight's game has gone on long enough, Your Majesty. And Elizabeth is like, would you be so kind to tell me your name, good sir? Oh god, where have I heard her voice? So familiar. Let me check. Where have I heard her voice? Okay, Sayori Hayami. Yep. Yeah, I should have guessed. Obviously, it's Sayori Hayami. I think Shinobu, yeah, from Demon Slayer. A lot of other characters, like a lot of very prominent characters in a lot of animes. Like she's Ryu from Danmachi. She's Yukino Shita from teen romantic comedy Snafu. Yeah, like so many characters. She's done a lot of great characters, and yeah, and she has a very good voice as well. She's a singer as well, Sayori Hayami. A few of her songs are absolutely breathtaking. Okay, so yeah, now. Oh, I think Yor is also Sayori Hayami, isn't she? Your forger, yeah. Yor is also Sayori Hayami. Okay, so here you can see that Shadow uses, or at least everyone thinks he's going to use atomic, and he's like, I am, and Mary's like, no, please stop, wait. And then he says recovery atomic. So yeah, so all the ghouls, they return back to normal. Oh, for a moment I was trying to think who this girl is. There was this one girl they showed, this girl who was holding on to a bag, and all the zombies were attacking her. I was like, who is this girl? I feel like I've seen her. She's that girl, isn't it? She who Shadow saved. Yeah, in the first episode. Yeah, I think so. I think her name was also Mary, or yeah, Marie, that was her name. Yeah. Okay, so I'm guessing this also, yeah, this also reduced the possession that was going berserk in everyone's body. It kind of calmed it down, because he used this recovery atomic, or yeah, which is literally him just lowering the berserk in the the output, the magical power going haywire. He just literally reduced that in everyone, and everything is fine now. Yeah, so this whole thing is over now, and yeah, so they don't really show what exactly happens to Elizabeth after that. They kind of show a little bit later on where Elizabeth and Mary are just standing, you know, and just looking on at a distance. So which makes us understand that yeah, they both of them are fine. But then we get to see the aftermath here, you know, like Rose leaves, you know, Rose, who now is like, you know, 666, I think. She and the Shadow Garden leave them this place. You can see that Juggernaut is interested in Shadow from here onwards, or the Shadow Garden as a whole. Um, Not only that, Skell and Poe are devastated, and these two, Quinton and the Goldie guy, they are also, they're like, oh my god, that was something. While over there, Mary says goodbye to Claire, and I just realized here, behind her in the carriage, Elizabeth is there sitting. I just realized it now. Um, and oh my god, this part is so funny. You know, this whole section, Sid says that ghouls, vampires, the possessed, they have different names. In the end, they're all just magic overload. So it's easy to, like, you know, like cure them. However, their afflictions out there cannot be cured. For a moment here, I thought she was talking about the whole possession and everything. You know, the whole like, you know, like how what everyone got affected and how his sister was affected as well. And then I realized, wait a minute, this is Sid we are talking about. He's probably not thinking about that. It must be something extremely stupid he's thinking about. And yeah, he was talking about Chunibyo. He thinks now his sister is a Chuni, just like him. And you can see that he was like keeping an eye on Claire, and Claire was looking at the markings in her hand, and she's like, my left arm is tingling. It's true, I have some special powers. Is my blood destiny trying to lead me somewhere? And I'm like, out of context, this whole part seems like a person who is fully Chuni talking. You know, like this is exactly what so many characters in different animes say. You know, like Chuni characters especially, they have like the bandage in their left hand or whatever, and they're like, oh, my left arm is tingling. You know, there's a dragon sealed in my left arm. Oh, my right eye is like, you know, like tingling. There's a seal which is sealing something that is going to destroy this world in my right eye. You know, these kind of things, you've seen a lot of other animes, they act like that. And that's why I'm saying, out of context, like Claire saying all these words makes us think that she's Chuni, but obviously she's not. This is actually a problem for her. That's why she's literally saying what she saw. And the markings are actually there in her hand. Sid thinks that her, like, you know, his sister is in a phase now, in the Chuni phase. And he's thinking that, oh my god, I can easily, like, you know, like I can easily cure magical overload, but this is a different problem. It cannot be cured. And oh god, he's like bandage, magic circle, special powers. Yeah, my sister's got it bad. And he's like, but don't worry, you know, like all children have walked this path and same point. It'll all become okay. And Claire is like Sid, you know, I should tell you. The thing is, there are special powers that have taken root in my left hand. She's pretty serious, obviously. She's afraid. She's very scared of this whole thing. She thinks her brother will not accept her, as, you know, like he'll probably be afraid of her or something. But Sid is like, don't worry. It's fine. You know, like, you know, whichever path you walk, you know, I'll support you. Obviously, Sid is talking about her Chuni situation, while Claire is very happy. Claire thinks, oh, my brother has accepted me. This whole section is so filled with misunderstandings and it's so weird. It's actually crazy. This whole section. Like, everyone is saying something else and the other person understands it in a different way. Sid is thinking of something else while Claire is thinking of something else. But it just works out in the end. So, you know, whatever. You know, like, the thing that matters is that everyone is happy by the end. And, you know, Claire thinks her brother has accepted her even though she has special powers in her right. while Sid thinks her sister has become a full Chuni, and he's like, you know what, it's fine. I also was in that phase. Every child walks through that phase. It's okay. I'm going to support her. And yeah, so for a moment here, Claire asks, Sid, do you know anything about Shadow? And he's like, oh, the one who burned down our school? And yeah, he's like, oh, yeah, no. Okay, so then Sid is like, I'm sure from here onwards my sister will have lots of trials and tribulations, but don't worry, dear sister, I'll support you whichever path you walk. Wow, such a supportive brother. And yeah, in the end, he does mention how he wasn't able to get enough money, but he did get a little bit, so it's fine, you know. And he's like, yeah, I can just go back to the lawless city to get more money. It's my piggy bank. Oh boy! And then in the end, you get to see that Sid boards a train, and there's just Yukime sitting on the other side. So yeah, Yukime probably has something to say to Sid. So let's see what happens in the next episode. That is it. That was my reaction to episode number 3 of The Eminence in Shadow Season 2. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button and subscribe if you're new to the channel, or you haven't subscribed. Comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And that is it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Eminence in Shadow. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.